Welcome to the Hilton Suites in Winnipeg. In this video I'll share with you briefly what you can expect to get if you decide to stay at this hotel. I'll be looking at both the hotel's exterior and its interior, because whether you look on the outside or on the inside, the observable attributes of a building reflect management's or the owner's mentality towards maintenance or their passion for quality. So let's have a look-see what you get for your money. The building is located in a light industrial area, meaning parking lot, hotel, another hotel, intersection. The airport is just minutes that way. Some light industrial area where they sell machinery parts, so no heavy manufacturing is found around, so that means that it's fairly quiet. The airport is close, but the runway is towards the west side in the direction of the setting sun in the middle of the picture. So and the runway runs roughly north to south, and jets landing or taking off are really not even noticeable. I've stayed here for 10 days so far, COVID-19 isolation, and the building is quiet on the inside. That's difficult to show or explain. On the outside you can see the building was updated. The logo was updated, sorry. They removed the round logo there and put on the new one, and they never bothered to pressure wash the building, at least the facade or the frieze up top there, or something cosmetically so it doesn't look like this, with years of sedimentation from rainwater runoff everywhere on it, just making it ugly. The flags are also dirty, fraying at the edges, especially the red one. So that's how the front of the building looks like. Let's take a look at the side of the building. Interesting features to point out here. Yeah, around that planter you can see that large depression in the sidewalk there. Yeah, the ground is shifting, settling. I guess it's been settling or doing this for years. So if you walk here or you turn an ankle, yeah, nobody cares apparently. Over here, if you follow these cutesy little rodent boxes, something here is dripping. Just from the discoloration on the stones, it's been dripping here for months or years. It's an intentional feature. There's probably soil or planters or a garden up there, and this is draining the rainwater. The drainage of the ground here is worked out such that everything slopes towards the building very thoughtfully, rotting the building or potentially damaging the building, because this is going to freeze eventually. And when it doesn't, it's providing a really handy habitat for mosquitoes, black flies, insects that bother people. Over here, at the over the lawn that's unirrigated, I don't know, maybe that's how things, standard things in Manitoba, I don't know. We get to this noisy, but it's okay. Exhaust from the kitchen. If you choose to eat anything at this hotel, you might want to look around on all sides of the hotel. I'm just gonna point out a few things here. Obviously repairs were done and they never bothered to color match the paint. I guess, I don't know, something had to be done in a rush, or attention to detail comes extra. The fire hydrant caps are missing. I don't know what the fire department thinks about that. This little enclosure here, I don't know if you can see it well enough, that it's that the posts are leaning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 posts make up this structure, and some walls. All 5 posts are leaning in different directions, so that the gaps around the door are, I don't know, we can call it the ridiculous proportion of things here. Apparently this structure met somebody's approval, somebody paid for it. You know what? If you stay at this hotel and you're a paying guest here, you will be paying for this too. So that's nothing fancy, that's just exhaust pipes from the parkade or something. And this is the fantastic structure that met somebody's aesthetic approval, and somebody got paid for this. Another rodent trap here. Now, there's nothing the city or anybody can do about rats and mice. These rodents are resourceful survivors. They have been around for millions of years, and they will stay around. However, you may not want them in your kitchen. So, I don't know about these convenient rodent access holes in the building. This is styrofoam here that's being in this condition. Chunks missing. There is concrete behind it, so and the concrete is solid behind it, but how this looks like is I don't know. We'll go for substandard, and I'll stick to that adjective. So the whole side looks like this. That's only a concern. There's another rat trap. That's only a concern if the actual concrete is cracking. Like this is just stucco work, nothing too important. But if the concrete also has some cracks in it, and if that's also patched up like this, or none at all, because it's only superficial. Now the stucco can crack like this on the exterior of the building without affecting, of course, the concrete behind it, but there might be holes in the concrete wall along the crack somewhere where nobody can see it, underneath this styrofoam skirt here that runs around the building, and rodents might get into the kitchen eventually. I don't know. I guess I really don't want to spend the time on finding everything that's wrong here, but just to get you an idea about the management's passion for quality here. One more thoughtful feature on the way out before I go inside can be seen here, where the cap flashing on the deck is lifting up, so you can see somebody's fingerprints in this sealant that was applied there. That's how this was done, and somebody paid for it and approved it and was happy with it, and for sure it probably, you know, keeps the rain out or whatever. It keeps the concrete from splitting or the wall from visibly deteriorating. You know, it probably does the job, but again, I think they can do better than this. If you walk through here towards the front entrance, underneath these flagpoles with the torn flags on them, you can come across this nice slab with beautiful architectural finish on it, nice texture on it, as well as you can see some plumbing components there and a thoughtful paint job adorning one of the pillars here. And we have here a revolving door from the 1980s. And the whole building looks like it's from the 1980s. When you enter the common areas of the hotel, a number of themes emerge fairly early on. Firstly, it stinks in here. You might say that it reeks. Well, it stinks of old, 1980s old. Of course, stink is really difficult to show on a video footage, but it is what it is. It's very noticeable. Maybe they had some fire damage. Evidence of it might have been visible outside underneath the kitchen exhaust area where the mismatched paint was visible on the exterior. Maybe, but that would be maybe a kitchen fire, or if one of the residents floods a portion of the hotel, then only a portion of it would stink. But it stinks everywhere, I would say evenly. Alright, so it stinks in here. Theme number 2, it's dark. It's dark in here. I came to the lightest place in this hotel, this stretch of hallway here with skylights, brilliantly lit, white floor, white walls or light colored walls, very nice. And then transition to this area of the hotel with dark carpeting, dark baseboard, dark doors. Now those ones are light gray or whatever, maybe dark gray, but here it's getting even darker. So if light affects your mood or affects you in any other way, Then there, that's a super dark corner there, and it's dark in here. Now here in the hallways we have overhead spotlights, but there aren't any in the rooms, so the rooms are even darker and badly lit. I'll show you. But so that's the big picture, two big themes that apply to this hotel. That's big picture. Let's take a look at some of the detail. Besides being dark, it's dark because it's practical, so that stains like this one here in the middle of the picture don't need to be cleaned up. Why bother? The walls are not straight here. If you look at detail, I'm going to just come around the corner here. There. So that's how that looks. The wallpaper is peeling, delaminating. How about here? That spot and that spot, or over there in that other dark corner right underneath the table. Yeah, maybe thereabouts, you can see it. Unfortunately, cleanliness continues, this pattern continues. Here's another one, just spots that aren't cleaned up. This unfortunately continues inside the rooms. There's some food mess, I don't know. People don't typically eat here or come here. This is a quiet hallway here. I don't know what that is. So cleanliness is another consideration here, and it stinks like 1980s, because look at this door hardware here and the fit and finish on this door. It's 1980s door. That's why the hotel stinks like 1980s. So this kind of residential grade or some kind of cheap grade lock set on the door, that door was patched. That's a patch on patch and painted over. They might be storing tables and chairs, conference material here behind this. The carpet is curled up in the corner there. The carpet is badly fitted around the door jambs. So this door is a 1980s door. The hotel stinks like 1980s, and that's their attention to detail or their passion for quality. Pretty much everywhere you look. Okay. Let's take a look at an actual room that you might be spending some unfortunate times here. This is one of the hallways, and unfortunately the same themes continue. It's dark. There are no lights in the ceiling anymore. The lights are mounted on the walls, and it's stinky, and the carpet is dirty. So let's go inside this room here, and it is dark. Dark carpet, dark table, dark desk, dark chairs, dark doors. It's so dark, some corners like this one here, and it takes time for even the camera to adjust and your eyes to adjust to it. It's this dark, and I have all the lights on. There's one there, one in the corner, one above that mirror. There are no lights in the ceiling. The ceiling is featureless painted concrete. Okay, it's got at least some texture to it, and this fluting, but I'm not sure if that's a redeeming feature to it. So that's how that looks like. So everything above waist level looks okay. Everything below waist level is just dark. The closet, everything is 1980s door, and it looks like, if you look at the finer detail, mismatching dissimilar switches, the amount of yellowing and oxidation that goes on the contact points that people touch, that's a 1980s switch plate. It's not white, it's grandmother yellow. Okay, it's old. The lampshade is old on this thing, and the whole design, its electrical cord is 1980s, so everything stinks accordingly. The furniture stinks, the carpets stink, and everything is dirty. I'll show you. There have been multiple repairs or whatever repair attempts. Somebody drilled in something, cut out something, and it's left there unfinished. The paint job is like this. If I tell my 5-year-old to paint, that's what I kinda expect. But that's not just one spot, everywhere you look. I don't know if you can even see this overpainting on the door hardware. On a 1980s door, obviously the commercial door hardware, that's new. Everything else 1980s. Iron and ironing board, but this particle board door with that kind of paint job on it, on everything. The hinges, the hinge barrels overpainted. That's how everything looks like. Let's look at this table here. Its edges are raised. As something spills on it, this is particle board. The particle board swells and it doesn't shrink back to original dimension after it dries. So it's got multiple blisters on it where the surface is damaged. There's a big blister there. That's how it looks like. That's what you get with that kind of corner. That's what you get at this particular Hilton. It's so dark in here, it took me 2 days to find a micro. Believe me, there is a micro lurking in the dark here. And of course it's black. The interior is white at least. And there's a mini fridge unlit. There is a light in the micro, but there isn't in the fridge. This kitchenette area is actually pleasant because the countertop is not dark and the mirror reflects enough light from the light source above so you can actually see what you're doing. The same applies to the countertop in the bathroom here. This is actually pleasant. The amount of light that's here, the white surfaces, towels and shower curtains, this is actually pleasant. If you look at the detail again, what the hell is this? Why is this falling apart? Yeah, it's not staying in place either. The same paint job. 1980s door hardware. That looks like some cheap garbage from local hardware store. From the on sale, because it's garbage, box. Overpaint everywhere, on doors, on lock sets, on hinge plates, hinge barrels on the outside, everywhere you look. It's not just this room, everywhere throughout the hotel the paint job looks like this. And occasionally in corners the wallpaper is delaminating or peeling. Let's see, where did I see one? Oh, in this room it's here, it's peeling here. So that's how fit and finish looks like. Of course the chair, sorry about the darkness, the chair's armrest hits the edge of the table and is chipping it out. This is how it looks like. The top edge of the table is also wearing away. Electrical cord from 1980s. So that's how everything looks like here. Just very dark. That's how this closet looks like, with some clothes hanging, and there is one light overhead, so you have at least some chance of finding your stuff in here. Listen to this noise. That's the room's air conditioner. So while we're staring at the featureless doors that adorn this hotel's room, throughout the hotel actually, this noisy air conditioner, with the exhaust being up in that corner, is one issue that might keep you up overnight. maybe not the whole overnight, just part of the night. The controls work. Controls are mounted here. Oh, by the way, new plastic, nice and white. Old plastic, grandma plastic. So the controls work. You can turn it to a higher setting so the room is warmer and the air conditioning is operating less and less. And it's not blowing air just yet, it's just started with its inrush current, started cycling. When it blows the air, it's actually even noisier. So the air conditioner is behind this locked featureless door here, and there's another exhaust over there behind this ill-fitting sheet metal shroud there. I forgot to mention when I looked at this light, this grandma light here, that's how the inside of it looks like. That's molten a little bit with a very old light bulb. And in terms of cleanliness, the dirt is underneath the glass there in this gap here. So just little different snapshots, and there's going to be more noise coming out of this AC unit. And some of the corners, you know, in the room here, yeah, you have a TV in here, and the bedroom actually looks like this. But again, it's so dark down there, you don't know what gets dropped. In fact, I found a sock in one of the corners, and I have the curtain here pulled, obviously, so we get as much light as possible in here. So it's still so dark in here. I found a sock there which was lost. Maybe not left here by the previous guy. Maybe this was left here by I don't know, an occupant here months ago, possibly. So if I put it down somewhere, anywhere on a dark surface, it just blends in and nobody's gonna find it for months. And it's not just the camera not adjusting to the light, it's just dark in here. Your eyes don't really adjust much better than the camera anyway. So that's how a room looks like. In terms of cleanliness, the stuff on the floor is feathers coming out of the, what is it, duvet, and some of the stuff that's generated by the food being dragged through here. There's a big feather. Let's take a look at this light bulb here. This light bulb and this socket, they don't work on this side, and it's been broken for months because this socket here should be inside that porcelain socket there. That's a normal light bulb. So this is broken, and it's been unrepaired, unnoticed. Nobody cares about it. Just for contrast, I'll show you how the intact side looks like. Okay, this one actually works, and of course the other side doesn't work. So that metal threaded part should be inside the socket. So that's just a minor maintenance issue. The sock shouldn't be here, so many of these surfaces are not really cleaned up. If you look at places that don't get a lot of attention, like the countertop is clean, the mirrors are clean. Let's move, I don't know, one of these pillows, see what happens. Yeah, like, what's this? Whose hair is this? And why is this here? So that's what I mean by it's not clean. Nothing is clean. We'll put it in the garbage. Thereabouts. Okay. So it's clean superficially. It's just clean. Hey, this is COVID-19 season, and there is a disinfectant, and we'll wipe down the doors and whatever. Yeah, no, not really. You're on your own with this COVID-19 thing in this, especially in this hotel. So that's basically what you get. That's how That's what you can get. That's what you can expect to get if you come to this hotel. Thank you very much for watching.